Lee, a disappointing afternoon at Valley Parade for us. Just give us your thoughts at full time, please.
Yeah, look, really tough afternoon. Tough more so for the supporters who've come out in their numbers, I feel, and showed incredible voice and support and incredible energy at the start of the game. Look, we did start the game well, but I feel as though a lot of that really falls by the wayside with the way we conceded our goals and with the manner of the defeat. I think in general, look, it's not acceptable to come away from home and concede 3 goals, and it's not acceptable for them to happen so quick fire and to really feel like you're in a game and then the game turns so quickly. So look, we have to accept that, I have to accept that, and certainly the responsibility of that today really lies with myself. And you know, it's important now that we look into the psychology of the group to understand why that's happened and put that right for next week.
The start of the game was actually favourable. We hit the crossbar, the pattern of the play seemed to be in our favour. The occasion didn't seem to be a factor for the team, it seemed to be helping them, but in added time of the first half, that seems to be where the game's gone beyond us. Yeah,
absolutely. Look, the game at half time is exactly the game that we thought it would be, which makes it even more disappointing that the moments where we concede the goals have cost us. And I also feel as though it's important to make sure, you know, when I say the way we concede the goals, that's a collective. That's not just the 4 or 5 or 6 bodies that are nearest the goal. We have to be better. I have to understand why that's happening and do that very quickly, because it can't happen again. For me now, 3 away performances with Blackpool, Barnsley and Bradford today are not us and have not been what we've talked about, planned for, prepared for, and the way we train and work every day. So look, we have to make sure that's the last time that happens, and really work hard to put it right for next week.
Given those 3 games that you've just highlighted seem to have gone beyond us in similar ways, there'll obviously be a frustration with the fact that that's been repeated, but does that mean when we come to try and remedy those, there's a remedy there that would hopefully fix what is a problem that's affecting multiple games?
Well, look, that's an important point to make, in that the group are working really hard. They have been successful this season so far, but those 3 results, they do look and feel similar, and they can't be accepted. I can't accept it. I don't think the supporters want to accept that, and the players themselves, most importantly, are not happy with that. So look, we have to put it right. There's a lot of work that's going to go into that, of course. We've got to root it out, we've got to do it quickly, and it's important that we own it as well. It really is, because today, look, the game is how we thought it would be. There's nothing that Bradford presented today that wasn't as we discussed. Wasn't that, you know, there was no personnel or structural or tactical things that really looked any different to what we thought it would be. The game in the first 15-20 minutes was as we thought it would be, but you have to be there in every moment in this division, and there's several moments in that first half, particularly the ones leading to the goals, where our intensity drops, our collective energy drops, our intensity to read a moment or to have clarity in a moment drops, and you're going to be punished for that in this division, that's for sure.
The last thing I want to ask you is just about the supporters again. You rightly brought them up before. There was 2,800 of them here today, or the best part of. They were fantastic throughout. The build-up's been brilliant between the 2 clubs. You've done the media this week where it's been built up and built up. It is 3 points at the end of the day, but it's going to sting for a little while, this result.
Well, absolutely, because look, again, for me, when we have such dedicated support, when we have such numbers, such energy from the stands, it's really important that we match that on the pitch. I think certainly for the first 15 and 20 minutes, the supporters would have felt that energy, and it's reciprocated, but it has to be sustained across the 90 minutes. And whether you lose it for a moment in a defensive phase, or you lose it for a moment from a cross, whatever it might be, it has to be there for the whole game. And I think the supporters rightly demand that. I think their energy and voice this season has earned that, and we have to work hard to repay that across the course of the season.
Lee, commiserations. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, Raj.